Hi friends, I am Professor Pawar DS. Today we are going to see the most important subject from surveying, that is plane table surveying. First of all, we have to know what is plane table surveying. So plane table surveying is a graphical method of surveying in which we are going to draw the various plans by using plane table. The basic principle of the plane table surveying is the parallelism. What is meant by parallelism? So parallelism say that the ray drawn from station to object on the paper are parallel to the lines from the station to the object on the ground. So various accessories required for the plane table surveying. So first of all, already we have seen the what is principle of the plane table surveying. The principle of a plane table surveying is a parallelism. And what is accessories required for a plane table? So one by one we are going to see the various accessories required. First is a plane table. Plane table is a drawing board of size 750 mm by 600 mm made of wood. The top surface of the table is well leveled. The bottom surface consists of the thread circular plates for fixing the table on a tripod stand by the wing nut. The plane table is meant for the fixing the drawing sheet. For the placing the drawing sheet, plane table is used. So this is a typical plane table. Typical plane table in the board. Okay, and this is setup of the plane table. So plane table you are going to set. Sorry. So plane table you are going to place on this tripod stand. Tripod stand in the iron shoe. Second thing is the alidate. Alidate is the most important in plane table surveying. Alidate having two types. First is a plain alidate and second is a telescopic alidate. The plain alidate consists of a metal or the wooden ruler of length about 50 cm. One of its edge is beveled and is known as the visual end. Visual edge, sorry. It consists of the two vanes at both ends. One is known as the objective vane and carries a horsehair. Other vane is called as a side vane and is provided in a narrow slit. So this is a typical sketch of the alidate having two vanes. First is the object vane and second is the side vane, and here is the beveled edge having the centimeters, having the distance, having the length 50 centimeter. Telescopic alidate. The telescope alidate consists of a telescope meant for the inclined sight or the sighting the distances object clearly. This alidate has no vanes at the ends, but it is provided with the visual edge. So this is a typical sketch of a telescopic alidate. Here this is graduated circle, beveled edge and the telescope. So this is telescopic alidate. Next is a spirit level. It is a small metal tube containing the small bubble of the spirit, and it is meant for the leveling the plane table. Means when you are going to place the table on the tripod, we have to level the table, and for that leveling purpose, we are going to use this spirit level. The compass. There is two kind of compass. First is a truck compass, and second is the circular box compass. The truck compass is a rectangular box made of non-metallic metal containing a magnetic needle pivoted at a center. This compass consists of a zero mark and the both ends to locate the north and south direction. This is typical compasses. First is a truck compass which having the needle, magnetic needle, which are going to show you the north and south direction. With the help of this knob we can lose the needle. And second is a circular compass which is rested on the base plate, and this is a needle which are going to show you north and south. So this is about the compass used in a plane table surveying. U4 for plumbing work with the plumb up. It is very important U4 because when you are going to transfer the ground point on the table or table point on the ground, for this purpose you are going to use a U4. The U4 is a metal strip bent in the shape of U like a hairpin having the equal arm length. The top arm is pointed and the bottom arm carries a hook for suspended a plumb bob. This is meant for centering the table over the station. This is typical sketch of the U fork, which having the two edges. One is a pointed edge here, and other edge we have to they have provided the hook, and through hook they are going to suspend the plumb bob. And with this help of the plumb bob and the pointed edge, we are going to transfer the various point from the plane table drawing sheet to the ground, or we are going to take the ground point on a drawing sheet. So now we have seen the various instruments used for plane table surveying. Before going to start work on plane table surveying, we have to know the basic term which is required in a plane table surveying, that is orientation. What is orientation? The method of setting up the plane table at each successive station parallel to the position it occupied at the starting station is known as a orientation. It is simply say that we have to place the plane table at each new position. That first position of the plane table survey, second position of the plane table surveying should parallel to the first position of the plane table. This is mean the orientation. Orientation must be done when the plane table is set up more than one station, because if you are not going to move the table, how you are going to take the reference of the previous station? So you have to move the table. You cannot do the orientation only on a one station. Orientation is made by magnetic needle and the backside. There are two methods of orientation. There is a magnetic needle and second is a backside. So orientation by using trough compass. It is simple method. In this method, we have to level the table in a proper way, and then we have to place the trough compass on the plane table, and then the trough compass is going to show the north direction. We have to mark the north direction with the help of the pencil. Then if you are going to move the table, when you are going to bisect any object, suppose you have placed the plane table at N, you are going to bisect the point B, so you have to draw one line. Our ground station is capital A. From this you are going to mark the line, and you are going to bisect the another station B. Now when you are going to move the table from station A to station B, you have to place the table exactly over the ground station, because small b is a point on a drawing sheet. That point you have to transfer on a ground station at B. So with the help of U fork, you are going to transfer this B point on the ground point. So for that you have to use the U fork, and important thing, you have to do the orientation. So for orientation, already you have marked the position of the north on this drawing sheet. So when you are going to place the table on station B here, you have to place the trough compass exactly or along this line, and you are going to move the table until the table that north exactly is not going to match with this line. If not, this north direction and north compass is matches each other, in that case you can say the orientation is completed. Means the position of the table in a second place is parallel to the first position of the table. This is orientation by using trough compass, and this is called as also backsetting also. Backsetting, trough compass also. Backsetting means from station A to B you have to bisect the object, and when you are going to place table at exactly point B, you have to see the ranging rod at or the station A, and that way also you can do a orientation. So orientation by using trough compass also you can do, and orientation by backsetting means you have to look at the back. Okay, through that also you can do the orientation. So procedure of setting the plane table over the station. So there are various stages how you are going to set the plane table. So first thing is here, fixing the table on the tripod stand, layering the table, centering the table, marking the north line, and the orientation. So these are the various procedure to set out the table. So methods of plane tabling. So there are various methods of plane tabling, though we have to know. First method is the radiation, second is intersection, third is a traversing, and last is a resection method. One by one we are going to see what are these methods. So radiation method means you are going to get the position of the various object on the ground surface of the ground surface on the drawing sheet by using this method. And this radiation method is generally used for the small area, means from single station. If you can get the various point on the ground, for that purpose you can use the radiation method. The procedure is simple here at P point, ground P point, you are going to place the table here or exactly over this point, and through U4 you are going to take this P ground point on the drawing sheet, and these capital A, B, C, D are the ground points. Okay, and those ground points we have to take on the drawing sheet. So here when we have taken the exactly point P on the drawing sheet, along we have to use the alley and you have to fix the point P, the alley touching point A, and bisect the ranging rod at capital A, we are going to draw the line. Okay, same way we are going to draw the line alley touching at point P and bisecting the ranging rod at capital B, alley touching at point B, bisecting the ranging rod at capital C, alley touching at point P, bisecting the ranging rod at a D. Marking this line, we have to measure actual distance between capital A and P, capital P and B, capital P and C, capital D and D, and we have to choose one scale based upon the size of the drawing sheet, and then we are going to mark the various points on a drawing sheet, and those points we can say as the small a, small b, small d and small d. Then we are going to join these all lines by using the alley, and then we can measure the actual length between these 2 points on a drawing sheet, and also we can calculate the area between these various points. So this is the radiation method basically used for the smaller area. From single station we can mark the all points. Intersection method is generally used when you cannot have the access to reach some point. In that case we have to use the intersection method. Simple method is here. Suppose we want to get the position of point P on drawing sheet. We have the 2 points, capital A and capital B, 2 points, and we have to get the position of point P, and also we want distance between capital A and capital P and capital B and capital P. But if there is a intersection, if there is a intervention or there is a river in between those points, we cannot find this distance. So for that purpose we have to use the intersection method. What is procedure? So already we people know the point capital A, so we have to place in the plane table exactly over the station, okay, on the ground station capital A with the help of U4, and after transferring the point of capital point A on the drawing sheet, it will be small a. Okay, then we have to bisect the ranging rod at B, and we have to draw the line by using the alley, and we have to measure the distance between point A and B, and converting that distance with the scale we are going to mark point B on a drawing sheet, and alley touching point A and bisecting the ranging rod at P, we cannot reach to this point, so we cannot measure the distance. So just by touching alley at point A and bisecting the P, we are going to draw one line. After this we are going to shift the plane table exactly over the station capital B. We have to take one care that whatever the position of point B we have marked on a drawing sheet, that point we have to transfer exactly on the ground with the help of a U4. And after transferring to this point, we have to do the orientation also. You can do orientation by using the back sighting, means you have to place the alley touching at point B and you have to bisect the ranging rod at A. So you can do the orientation also. And after doing the completion of the orientation, you have to take alley touching at point B, and you are going to mark the alley touching at point B, and bisecting the ranging rod at P, you are going to draw one line. This line is going to intersect, okay, the previous line which already we have drawn, that alley touching at point A and bisecting the P. So you are going to get the exact position of the point P, and here you can measure the now on the plane table, plane table sheet, you can measure the distance between point A and P with the help of a scale. And whatever the scale you have taken, if you are going to convert, you are going to get the actual distance between capital B and capital P, and distance between capital A and capital P. So this is the intersection method used when you cannot access the point. Okay, so this is the intersection method. Next, traversing method. Traversing method is a combination of the radiation method and the traversing method. See, here we have, by using that combination of two methods, you can get the various distances. Suppose we have to calculate the distance between ground, point A, capital B, capital C, and capital D. So what we have to do here, plane table, you have to exactly set the station capital A with the help of U4. Okay, with the help of U4 you can place the plane table at capital A, and alidate touching at point A and bisecting the ranging rod at B, here where we are going to draw one line. Similarly way, alidate touching at point A and bisecting the ranging rod at C. Okay, we can draw one line also here like this. Okay, then we have to move the table at exactly station over the station capital B, and then we are going to bisect already touching point B, and bisecting the ranging rod C, we are going to draw one line like this here. Same way again we have to shift the, but one care we have to take always, whenever you are going to change the position of the table, you have to check the orientation of the table, because it is principle of plane table surveying in a parallelism, that whatever the line you are going to draw, that line is should parallel to the plane table. Okay, so previous position always you have to keep the plane table parallel, so you have to do the orientation by means of the north compass or the trap compass, or by the mean of the backsetting. So in here next, alidate, you have to move exactly whatever the point you have marked on a drawing sheet at a C, over that point you have to exactly take over the ground point C, and alidate touching at point D, and bisecting the ranging rod at D, you can draw one line. Similar way you have to shift the table exactly over the station capital D by mean of the plumb bob, and then you can alidate touching at point D and bisecting the ranging rod, you can draw one line. So this is complete your rectangle. But you can do one thing also, by using intersection method also, directly you can get these distances. Means you no need to move the table at 4 stations. By moving the table only at 2 station or 3 station, you are going to get the required data. So this is a traversing method, means you are going to form the traverse. Last important is the resection. Resection method is generally used when there is a missing point. Means already you have worked, but we people don't know where is exactly that point. So for that we are using the resection method. Suppose we have find point P somewhere. We have fixed the point P somewhere here, but due to some reasons we have lost exactly position of point P, and we know the 2 points capital A and capital B, 2 point station on the ground. Okay, so we have to find this missing point. So for that we have to do one thing, that alidate that plane table exactly you have to center on capital A with the help of again plumb bob U4. We are going to transfer the point at on plane table at a small a. Then alidate touching at point A, bisecting the ranging rod at B, we are going to draw one line. The distance between these two we know, so we are going to mark the position of point B, capital B, as a small b on a plane table surveying. Here always we know whatever the ground point, we are considering the capital letters, and the points which are on the plane table, for that we have considered the small letters. Now here we exactly don't know position of point P here, so alidate touching point A, and near about somewhere in this area we have that point, so alidate touching point A and bisecting the ranging rod at P here somewhere, we are going to draw one line. And if you have chosen some point is here, with the help of tape we are going to measure the distance, and we are going to mark the position of point P1. After this we are going to shift the plane table exactly over the station P1, and we have to do the back sighting. Okay, after back sighting we have to do one thing, that alidate touching point B. Okay, and bisecting the ranging rod at B, we have to draw one line, and at back side we are going to extend that line, and wherever that point is going to going to intersect with the previous line of the AP1, that point is exactly missing point. Here you can see that already we have marked distance point line AP1, but if you are going to take the extension of line B, capital BB, at the back side, the line is going to intersect at point P, and that point P is our missing point. So this way we are going to calculate the missing point in a plane table survey. So already we have discussed the resection method means what? We have to find the missing point on the ground. So there are special methods of resection. So first method is a 2-point problem method. Second is the 3-point problem method. One by one we are going to see what are these 2-point problem and 3-point problem methods. First thing, 2-point problem method. Sorry, 3-point problem methods having the three-point problem having three methods. First is a graphical method, that is also called as a Bessel method. The mechanical method is also called as a tracing paper method, and the method of trial error is called as a lemma's method. So one by one we are going to see what are those methods. What is meant by 2-point problem method, what is meant by 3-point problem method. So 2-point problem method. 2-point problem method is used when we people know the two station or 2-point position exactly on a drawing sheet and a ground also. By taking those references, we are going to find the missing points. Okay, so here is simple thing. First thing, this is point B. The position of point B exactly we know on the drawing sheet, and point A, the position of point A also we exactly know on a drawing sheet. Sorry, we have two ranging rods here, point P and point Q. Two ranging rods were placed, and the position of point P and Q exactly know on a drawing sheet. So with the help of these 2 points, we are going to find the missing point here. So missing point here, we have to do one thing here. 2 points P and Q know on exactly drawing sheet, and here somewhere we have to find the missing point A. So first thing we have to do here, allocate touching point P and bisecting the ranging rod at P here, and allocate touching at point capital Q and bisecting the ranging rod at Q here. We have to choose one auxiliary point, and that auxiliary point is a B point, small b point. We allocate touching whatever the intersection of line P and Q at backside, that point B we are going to see the auxiliary station, and from this auxiliary station we are going to choose one point capital A, which position is exactly not known. So here allocate touching at point B, which is auxiliary station, and by eye estimation we are going to take this point A. Allocate touching point B, we are going to bisect the ranging rod at A, and we are going to draw a line that is BA1, and we are going to measure the distance between the capital B and A, and that distance we are going to mark here. Next thing, we have to move the table. Okay, this table we have to move, and after moving this table we have to transfer the points A1 exactly on the station A. Okay, and after transferring the station exactly, setting the table O station A, we have to do the orientation, and then we have to do one thing, allocate touching point A bisecting the point P on drawing sheet, and we are going to bisect the ranging rod at P. Suppose this line exactly passes point B, and similar way allocate touching at point B and bisecting the ranging rod at Q, and that line should passes at a point Q. But here you people see that the line allocate touching point A and bisecting the line Q, which is bisecting the ranging rod at Q on the ground, this line is not passing on the points which are decided or a point we have marked on the plane table as a small q. So here we have to do one thing. So here is some error. Okay, so we have to do one thing, allocate touching point P and bisecting that line, that point Q1. Okay, we are going to draw one line, And here this triangle PQQ1 is called the angle of error. Angle of error. Okay, this triangular error we have to minimize. For that we have to do one thing. The alligator touching point P and Q1, we have to draw one line here. Okay, and we have to place one ranging rod here. And next stage, what we have to do, validate touching point P and Q, we have to place validate here, and we have to move the table in a clockwise direction along with the telescope, and with the telescope we are going to bisect the ranging rod R. What happen if we are going to move the telescope by using the wing nut? This point A1 is going to shift somewhere here, and then after removal of this, when we are going to move the table, when alligator placing at point P and Q, this triangular error is going to minimize, and then that case this point is A is going to shift, and after shifting the position of point A is here, and that point is a correct point. So this is 2-point problem method, which is we are going to use when the position of the two ranging rods known on ground and the position of the same 2 points known on a drawing sheet. So this is 2-point problem method. Next we are going to see the 3-point problem method, and 3-point problem method means what? The three stations or three ranging rod position we already know on drawing sheet or on the ground, and the same point position we people know on a drawing sheet. But with the help of this intersection of this all, or doing the intersection of this all, we are going to find out the missing position of the points. So graphical method having 3 methods already we have seen. So first method we are going to see as the graphical method, that is called as a Bessel's method. So suppose here are the A, B, C are the 3 ranging rods, okay, on drawing on a ground, and the position of those ranging rods or the ground station we have already marked on a drawing sheet as a small a, small b, and small c. So what we have to do in a first operation, we are not going to move the table in the 3-point problem. We are going to place the table only on position, and just we are going to move the table. So here alligator touching at point A, and bisecting the ranging rod at A, we are going to draw one line, which line is going to touch at the point C. Okay, sorry, at point C, and then alligator touching at point B and bisecting the ranging rod, alligator touching at point C and bisecting the ranging rod B, we are going to draw one line. Okay, in second operation, what we have to do, alligator touching at placing alligator touching at point C and bisecting the ranging rod A, we are going to bisect ranging rod at C. Means we have to move the table in a clockwise direction. Here we are going to place the alligator, and we are going to move the table like this, and after moving the table, we are going to place alligator on the same line, and just we are going to bisect the ranging rod at C. After bisecting the ranging rod at C, here we are going to draw one line from C. After placing the ranging rod here we are going to draw one line, alligator touching at point A and bisecting the ranging rod at C. So this line is going to intersect somewhere here. The previous line is here, this line AC, and D, this line is previous line. So if you are going to draw one more line, alligator touching point A and bisecting the ranging rod B, where these two lines is going to intersect, and the intersection point we are going to say as a small d, and here is the position of small b. Next thing, in third operation, what we have to do, we have to do one thing, alligator touching at point D and B, at this line, alligator touching at B and D, and we have to move the table in a clockwise direction again, and alligator touching at point B and D and bisecting the ranging rod at B, we have to place the alligator like this, and extension of this we are to mark the backside. We have to draw the line of extension of that line. At backside you are going to draw one line, and after marking the line we have to do one thing, alligator touching at point C and bisecting the ranging rod at capital C, we are going to draw one line at the backside. Same way, alligator touching at point A and bisecting the ranging rod capital A, we are going to mark the line at backside. Whatever the intersection of these three lines on the drawing sheet, that is P point. exactly missing point, and with the help of u4 you can transfer this p point exactly on a ground. So this is a graphical method of 3-point problems where we people know the position of the 3 points exactly on the ground and position of the 3 points exactly on a drawing sheet, and with the help of this we are going to find the new missing point on the ground. So this is graphical method or basis method. Next method is the mechanical method or the tracing paper method. In this method we are going to use the tracing paper. Suppose here are three ranging rods A, B, C, where the position is already fixed on the ground, and the position of these 3 points we people know on a drawing sheet. So what we have to do here, we have to place plain tracing paper on this, and after placing the tracing paper on the drawing sheet, we have to mark point P, and we have to do one thing. We have to try from P1. If you are going to draw the draw the line already touching point P, and by seeing the ranging rod A, these 2 points are not going to match in each other. So we have to mark this line on a tracing paper. Then in second trial, what we have to do, we are going to move the tracing paper. Okay, we have to already we have marked the position of p1 on tracing paper, and these lines are not matching. Okay, means these lines should have to pass on the small a and the bisecting the exactly capital A. So we have to move the tracing paper little bit in a clockwise direction, and then we are going to match these lines exactly at point A and B. But when you are going to move the tracing paper, in that case the position of point is going to shift, and after shifting this point you are going to get the new position of point P, and this is exactly what we want, actually missing point, with the help of the tracing paper. So this is second method of the 3-point problem, mechanical method or tracing paper method. And third method of trial and error means lemon method. Trial and error method means, already we have seen in 2-point problem we are going to remove the triangular error. And triangular error, how we are going to remove, we are going to place, first we are going to draw, suppose this 3 ranging rods here and 3 points. If you are going to try to keep validate at touching point A and bisecting ranging rod at A, validate touching point B, bisecting ranging rod B, validate touching point C, bisecting ranging rod C. These three lines are not going to meet at a backside to exactly at a one point single point. So here, if you are going to, if you can see here getting the triangle, and triangle is called as a triangular error. So this triangular error we can remove. Similarly, how we have removed the triangular error in a 2-point problem means, we have to place the, in this line we have to place one ranging rod, and validate touching at this line we are going to move the table till bisecting this ranging rod. So this can way you have to do trial and error, and then through trial and error you are going to get the new position of the point P, and new position means that is actually missing point of the B. Okay, so this is about the 3-point problem. This is end of the table surveying. So we are going to stop here. Thank you.